Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It is late Tuesday night, the house is finally quiet, and I am absolutely vibrating with adrenaline after watching the latest GH promo. Grab a drink, get comfortable, and let's dive into this madness. Let me just jump right into my feelings before I even explain the play-by-play, because my jaw is still on the floor. I cannot believe Rick Lansing is pulling this garbage again. I mean, I can believe it, because it is Rick, but I am so frustrated. And Drew Kane? Do not even get me started on Drew Kane. We are witnessing the birth of a full-blown supervillain, and I am half here for it and half terrified of what it means for the canvas. Okay, back to the point. Let's break down the first scene in the promo. We open with Dante Falconeri and Elizabeth Baldwin. They are sitting on the couch in Liz's home, sharing a glass of wine. The lighting is soft, the vibe is incredibly cozy, and they are lovingly looking into each other's eyes as they clink. And honestly, I get it. I really do. I know some people are loving this, but personally, I am so torn. Think about what these two have been through lately. Dante has been carrying the massive, soul-crushing weight of knowing his teenage son, Rocco, shot Ross Cullum, and that Jason took the fall and endured a WSB black site. Dante has been holding his family together with duct tape and sheer willpower. And Liz? Liz is dealing with the absolute circus at General Hospital, the fallout of Britt's fake Huntington's disease, Lucas spiraling over Marco Rios dying for nothing, and the constant stress of keeping her own life afloat. So yeah, they are trauma bonding. They are two exhausted, deeply moral people who just want a quiet moment with a glass of wine. It is sweet. It is comforting. But then, the voiceover hit. We hear Rick Lansing's voice slithering through the audio like a snake in the grass. There's a growing connection between the two of them. And then the scene shifts, and we see Rick is saying this directly to Lulu. He leans in and tells her, "And if we don't break it, you and I are going to lose the loves of our lives." I am screaming at my screen. Rick Lansing, you absolute toxic menace. Am I the only one who is so sick of Rick acting like he owns Elizabeth? This man has a history of manipulation that belongs in a psychology textbook. Remember when he locked Carly in a panic room? Remember the decades of gaslighting and obsession? Rick cannot stand the idea of Elizabeth moving on, and he especially cannot stand the idea of her moving on with a Corinthos. Dante is Sonny's son, and Rick's inferiority complex regarding Sonny is the driving force of his entire existence. Seeing Dante and Liz together is probably making Rick's blood boil in ways we haven't seen in years. But let's look at Lulu's reaction. The promo shows Lulu looking highly skeptical, and thank God for Lulu is not the naive girl she used to be. Think about her current mental state. She just found out that Nathan West was actually Cassius Faison. She just had a nuclear meltdown, discovering that Carly was hiding Valentine Cassadine in her attic for months. Her brother Ethan just faked a DNA test for baby Phoebe, and then cowardly fled town the second Hudson Parker showed up. Lulu's life is a chaotic mess of betrayals and lies right now. Does she really want to team up with her shady ex-uncle-in-law to sabotage Dante? I want her to shut him down. I want her to look Rick in the eye and tell him to kick rock. But part of me knows she is a Spencer. The Spencer women have a chaotic streak, and Lulu might just be vulnerable enough and nostalgic enough for her family unit with Dante to listen to the devil on her shoulder. I kinda hope she doesn't, but let's be real, it would be so incredibly messy and entertaining if she did. I am dreading it, but I am also grabbing my popcorn. Wait, I'm getting ahead of myself, because we need to talk about the second massive bombshell in this promo. The scene shifts to the Metro Court pool. The sun is shining, the mimosas are flowing, and sitting there looking like two apex predators are Drew Kane and Ava Jerome. This is an unholy alliance if I have ever seen one. Ava is sipping her drink, looking like the lethal mob queen she is, and Drew leans in and says, "Together, we can take Sonny down." And Ava? Ava gives him this slow, wicked, calculated smile. I literally had to pause the video and walk around my living room. Drew Kane is going after Sonny Corinthos. Can we just track Drew's evolution for a second? I have been watching since 2015, and remember when Drew was the good twin? Remember when he was the honorable Navy SEAL who just wanted to build a media company and be a good dad? Yeah, didn't work then either, because poor Charles breaks people. But look at what he has survived recently. He was drugged with paralytics by his own wife, Willow. He was locked in his own body for months, while she paraded around playing the victim. Then Nina Reeves literally shoved his wheelchair into the Quartermain Lake and tried to drown him. He was rescued by Gio Palmieri, miraculously regained his speech and mobility, and now he has snapped. Drew is in his full villain era, and I am absolutely obsessed. He has taken Willow's divorce deal, he has been banned from the Quartermain estate by Tracy, and he has nothing left to lose. But why is he targeting Sonny? Because Sonny is the ultimate symbol of power in Port Charles. With Jason officially stepping away from the mob to focus on Danny, Sonny's empire is vulnerable. Drew knows that if he wants to be the top dog, if he wants to prove he is untouchable, he has to take down the king. And Ava is the absolute perfect partner. Ava is furious. She was stood up and abandoned by Ethan Lovett. She has been battling Sonny over Avery, and she has been caught in the crossfire of Sonny's war with Jen Sidwell. Ava hates Sonny right now, and she knows where all his bodies are buried. She has the mob instincts, and Drew has the corporate ruthlessness and the sheer, unadulterated rage. But can they actually take Sonny down? I know some people are loving this team up, but personally, I think they are playing with fire. People have been trying to take down Sonny Corinthos for 30 years. It never worked. But then again, Sonny's officially trying to walk away from the mob. Maurice Bernard said Sonny is entering a beautiful new era of legitimate power. If Sonny has his guard down, if he is focusing on ADA, Justine Turner, and his legitimate businesses, Drew and Ava might actually land a devastating blow. I am terrified for Sonny, but I am so hyped for the drama. Okay, catching my breath. Let's move to the final scene of the promo, because it ties perfectly into Sonny's current mindset. The camera pans over the bleak gray walls of Pentonville. We see Jen Sidwell walking into the visitor area, wearing a standard-issue beige prison jumpsuit. The man who has been terrorizing Port Charles, who held Justine Turner hostage, who has been a thorn in everyone's side, is finally behind bars. Sidwell looks through the glass and says, "It was only a matter of time before you showed up." The camera cuts to Sonny Corinthos, sitting there in a perfectly tailored suit, radiating absolute dominance. Sonny looks at him, completely unbothered, and delivers the coldest line of the week. "Beige is not your color." Chills. Literal chills. This is classic Sonny Corinthos. But let's analyze this first. Why is Sonny visiting Sidwell? Sonny is supposed to be out of the game. He told Jason he was done. He told Justine he wasn't going to have Sidwell killed in prison. So why is he there? Is he just there to gloat? Because honestly, Sonny loves a good gloating session. He loves looking his defeated enemies in the eye and reminding them who runs Port Charles. But I think it is deeper than that. Remember who Sidwell's cellmate is right now? Curtis Ashford. Curtis lost his trial, he rejected the plea deal, and now he is locked in a cell with a ruthless international criminal who is already trying to form an alliance. Sonny knows Curtis is in there. Sonny respects Curtis. Thinks Sonny is visiting Sidwell to lay down the law. He is using his visit to tell Sidwell that even though he is out of the mob, his reach is still infinite. He is telling Sidwell to stay away from Curtis, to keep his head down, and to serve his time quietly, or else beige won't be the only thing he's wearing. It is such a brilliant dynamic. Sonny is trying to be a better man, but he cannot completely let go of the power and the intimidation tactics that kept his family safe for decades. And he shouldn't, because while he is busy visiting Sidwell in Pentonville, Drew and Ava are sipping mimosas at the Metro Court, plotting to burn his empire to the ground. This is what makes General Hospital so incredible. The interconnected webs of these storylines are flawlessly weaving together. You have Rick manipulating Lulu to destroy Dante and Liz's fragile new bond. You have Drew and Ava forming a lethal syndicate to destroy Sonny. And you have Sonny standing in a prison, asserting his dominance over a defeated enemy while completely unaware of the knife being aimed at his back. I am so emotionally invested in this. I need to know what Lulu is going to say to Rick. Will she slap him, or will she agree to help him? I need to know what Drew's actual plan is. Is he going to use deception? Is he going to use Jasper Jack's Enterprises now that Jordan is CEO? And I need to know how Jason fits into all of it. Jason quit the mob to protect Danny, but if Drew and Ava actually manage to corner Sonny, Jason is not going to just sit on the sidelines. He will get pulled back in, and that is going to break Danny's heart all over again. The stakes have never been higher. The writers are firing on all cylinders, and I am literally counting down the hours until Monday's episode. We are watching legacy characters collide with new, unhinged versions of themselves, and the fallout is going to be spectacular. I am dreading the heartbreak, but I am living for the chaos.